We'll try after my next trade room. Not sure I want to know all that. Tell people you have to do a pitch raise on the pianos that you're tuning. All right, welcome everyone to the revised University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report. This is the 10-minute trades Pro Trade Room Plus. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director for 10-minute trades. Please remember that all of the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. I'm not a financial advisor. It is possible to lose money trading futures, so please trade carefully. All right, I want to say hello to everyone that's watching us on YouTube as well. Got my YouTube shirt on. I have to say, this shirt, it's a really new, nice looking shirt. And I think I look really lousy in it. It just, the colors, you know how like if you go to a fashion consultant, they'll put you in the right colors and the right kind of shirt. I just think it looks terrible. I don't like the way it looks in the webcam. So I guess I'm going to have to take it off. I can't, no, I can't trade in this shirt. Anyway, I don't like it. Do you agree or disagree? And you're not going to hurt my feelings. Believe me, at this point, nothing hurts my feelings. Chantal, you like it? I just don't like the way it looks. I think it looks stupid. All right. Anyway, the markets are getting ready to open. Um, we have to decide, you always have to make a decision. If you made a bunch of money on your first trade, this is not a family money trade. You don't have to trade anymore today if you made a whole bunch of money. You don't have to give it back if you don't want to. What I like to do is every week I look at the schedule and I have a plan. I think the YM is going to have a magnet open. I think, and you have to set that up before the open because now you'd just be rushing, right? I'll never get it set up in time to do a magnet right now. I'll do like a 10% target, a 25. You know what I'm saying, folks? You got to do it. Well, look, sometimes you get the time. So I'm just doing a sim. 40471, it's going to fill me. So just for fun, let's see what happens. I'll just take 5 minutes with it, all right? But if I wasn't working here, I would probably do a lot with just trading magnets in the mornings. I like magnets. Magnets in the mornings. It sounds like a movie. Magnets in the morning. Now, the open, look, it's a bullish open. The inflation report was good. There's a good possibility we're going to test that high. But I'd like to see a test of that high within the next couple of minutes. Otherwise, it may throw off the magnetism. The magnetism might become less, right? But I like a test of the high here, but right now the market's not quite cooperating the way that I would like. But the beauty of the magnet is if you don't do it in auto, you can go in if you want to. You don't have to go in unless you want to. Okay? I think I just missed my fill. Let's see. There we go. I think it's going to work. But I didn't want to do it live because I'm not sure and we got other stuff we're doing. I would move my stop bingo. Okay, folks? You see why I like it? I like it. I like it. What was that commercial? I like it. Mikey likes it. Mikey likes it. I think I've lost my mind, folks. I really do. First of all, I don't use the word folks in my real life under any circumstances. That's not a word that's even in my dictionary. Folks. I don't know. I've definitely lost it today. Let me just reset my accounts and we'll start talking about the setup that we have right now. All right, let's get cracking. Great magnet. See what I mean though about sometimes you'll have a two position or three position magnet and your second target is above the magnet, not the magnet, not the maggot. The magnet is your first target. That's the important thing to remember. The magnet is the first target. It's not the area. It's not the area. The area is the target. That's important not to forget. So, okay, so we don't really care what the market's doing now. We have a half an hour until our trade. Let's take a look at the DMM. But what I started to say is if you've made a bunch of money this morning, you could be done and you could go into your weekend with a smile on your face. This is, it's okay as a trade. It's not a family money trade, okay? It's not a family money trade. We have a new setup. There is some risk in the new setup. It's got a 20 tick stop. It's $100 at least on a contract. I think I'm just thinking, you're not going to get killed if you tried micros on it, MYM. All right, the YM setup is relatively new. Let's look at the video from last month because I think we traded the YM last month. Yeah, we had the setup last month also, and I think it worked, or at least hit the first target. Let's see if I remember correctly. Hit the first target. And we also did our gold trap, not live though. We did the gold trap in sim. I think the gold trap worked nicely also. The YM shot up. We did it in our Buell Knox account. Made money. First target. Moved the stop to relative safety so that no matter what, it would be a winning trade. It moved nicely. Now, actually, the rule is don't get aggressive with the stop on this trade. The YM generally was pretty good about continuing. And if you notice, the trap trade filled both tiers and it's trying to reverse. It hasn't really put the reversal in yet. So CROS, I'm moving the targets up a little bit because they were too far away, because they were the orders. Then they become the targets. Okay, both tiers filled. So now you're waiting for the reversal to take place strongly enough so you could think about moving your stop to safety, but not getting taken out of the trade. Now I'm thinking about making my targets bigger because we have a nice reversal starting to take place. And that's how you do a trap trade. That's all there is to it. Although we didn't see what happens with one tier filled. So I do have the video now, so I'll show you. So last month the YM worked. The gold trap was so-so. All right, so-so. Kaiser So-So. What movie was that? Kaiser Sose. I forget. Um, all this junk in my head. It just comes up at the weirdest times. Um, that was a movie, that was Quentin Tarantino, all the guys sitting in chairs. Do you guys, who knows what that movie was called? Everybody sitting in chairs, Harvey Keitel. What's the name of that movie? Kaiser Sose. I don't remember who he is or what it means. Anyway, Revise University. So we have a YM setup. All right. As per the DMM is the setup. It's a breakout. And we've got an activation time of 9:59:58. The bracket is 12. And then position size 1 is a 1, position size 2 is a 1. And we have targets of 20 ticks. Maybe that 40 tick target is a little big. We're not sure about that yet because we need to see some winning trades to determine that. So I'm going to go a little bit smaller today just because. And the stop is 20. And we said on this one, don't be too aggressive with the stop. So if I hit my first target, what is not aggressive would be break even minus 10. All right, that just cuts your stop in half, which is a pretty reasonable thing to do. It's everybody makes their own risk management decisions, and dealing with the stop is definitely a risk management decision. Don't you agree? That's a risk management decision all the way. All right, so the YM breakout. Bear with me, I'm just thinking. I just want to make sure I set this up properly. 959.58 on the breakout. All right. So it has to be target one stop move because we're only trading two positions. You have to have a three position trade to use target two because in a two position trade, both targets get hit, you're out of the trade. So it can't be, right? Can't be target two. Has to be target one. So target one stop move. I did say target two though. I put in the wrong one. So thank you for that, Roz. I see what you were saying. Forget me correcting you. Let me correct me. Target one stop move, break even minus 10. Thank you for that. See, you're on the ball, Roz. You're on the ball. This is what I like. I want people to catch my mistakes. You got to catch my mistakes. I'm not perfect. Breakout 959.58, bracket of 12, targets 20 and 32. Targets can be anywhere between 15 and 40-ish. The stop is 20. Target one stop move is break even minus 10. Label YMBRK for breakout. Apply it. I'm going to save this template. Just going to call it revised UoM YM in today's date, 7/26/24. And then I'm going to take a look at my brackets with a time of 0. Okay. You know, I'm just like everybody else. I would like to keep the money I made on the early trade, but I'm working for the company. I'm a company man. So right now the markets are volatile. Our bracket should be okay because the market should calm down as we get closer to the trade. Okay. Of course, we're going to keep our eye on the market. And if it should be too volatile to trade an instrument, then we would recommend not trading it, right? So it's definitely something we watch. Right now, the YM is pretty volatile. My charts are spread wide also, okay, because I want to be able to manage it. So at the moment, we're not trading. We've got almost 16 minutes. The market should calm down. It should calm down. So I'm going to put my time back. I don't, we could increase the bracket a little bit. I wouldn't want to increase it that much because we don't want to leave all our profit in the bracket. Okay. But 12 is small for YM. And I'm willing, I was talking about, profit. I'm like everybody else. I would love to keep my profits. I would love to keep my profits and be done for the weekend. But we have a nice testing YM setup on this report, and it's one of the reports. It's not a family money trade, but it's not a terrible report. It's a little bit inconsistent, but it's a manageable report that has an opportunity. That's how I look at this report. It's not great, it's not terrible. It's maybe a little bit better than a 50-50. I guess that's how I think about this report. The YM is new. We've only had one YM trade on it at the moment. All right. Right now, the YM is pretty volatile, so we'll keep our heads up awake about the YM. And then we do have our trap trade. Before I put the trap trade on, let's look at a second revised University of Michigan video. Our DMM. Hey, look, I didn't realize we. No, that's last month. Sorry. Wait a minute. Wait. My mistake. Let me see if we have the date that I'm looking for. No, this is right. June. Did we? We've been doing this YM 3 months, maybe. Maybe we've been doing it for 3 months. Let me see something. No, I'm losing my mind. No, we've got June and then we've got May. I can't get the right video. I think I have a duplicate video. That's what I'm struggling with here, folks. Okay, here's May. Let me see if this video is going to work. Let me try. Forgive me. I'm not, the video's not the right video. It's mislabeled, it looks like. Let me try one more. This should be May 31st, but it's June 28th. Okay, so one of my videos is mislabeled. So let's look at April rather than drive ourselves crazy. All right, so this was April 26th, University of Michigan by itself, gold trap. I'm just backing up to see if I could see our setup. 16 and 25 with a stop of 20. I think we're a little bigger today. All right, here comes the trade. And we were watching the ES. See what I mean about the charts being scrunched? So then I expand my chart. So in April, it looks like, let's see if we got filled. It was not a giant move. This is, remember, this is revised University of Michigan. Preliminary is the more impactful version of this report. So you have to keep in mind, this is the second revised. Years ago, these revised reports, they did not even trigger trades. It's pretty much once the pandemic started, or we started seeing all the news started just working better. Once we got over the pandemic, the general news being so bad for a couple of months that regular news trades didn't work at all for a couple of months because you would turn on the news in the morning and it would be so overwhelmingly terrible that news reports just didn't work. We went through some difficulties. Now you could see that in April, it certainly took its time filling here. Something doesn't look right also. It should have filled. Oh no, I'm okay. All right, so you've got the orders are mismatched, and I wasn't watching closely enough. What you're looking for here is a reversal. That's all I care about at the moment. Was there a reversal in April? It was a pretty bullish morning for gold. We were reducing risk with micros. Okay. I'm trading the YM, DMM on one account, and I'm going to trade probably the trap in my other one. You could see the trap was struggling in April to reverse. It just wouldn't do it. And for some reason I had an extra order on. I put my orders in wrong, but make a long story short, that did not reverse in April. YM is still pretty darn volatile at the moment. Pretty darn volatile. Let me look at one more. Let's look at March. So if we look at March, even similar sized tiers, not that big. 12 and 20 probably is what I would have used. Okay, I used 12 and 23. Okay, so here's, it just misses the fill in our live account by one tick on the trap trade. It missed the fill by one tick. We were trading micros to reduce risk. Then it filled one tier. Okay. So you're waiting for the reversal to take place now. But see, when it only fills one, see how the order is in the way? Your other order is in the way. If it doesn't go down and fill that second tier, we're going to have to cancel the outer tier when it starts moving up. Okay? When you're fairly certain that your up move has taken hold, then you can cancel that outer tier so you can move your stop to safety. Right now, the stop is being blocked by that order. Now I can move my stop to safety. I should have moved my target further away first. Okay? And we also had an ES trap trade on this report for a while. So look, the real question is, how much risk do you want to take today? I'm not a fanatical lover of this particular setup. It's been okay, all right. It's been okay. It's new on the YM. It's not proven. So I'm tell you what I'm going to do. I want to keep some of our profit, and I'm going to trade the YM in our Buell-Knox. I'm just going to do what I was going to do. Forget it. We've got the YM in our regular account. We've got our trap trade. I'm going to do the trap trade in Buell-Knox. The gold trap is tiers of. I'm going to use 15 and 25. Position size 1 is a 1. Position size 2 is a 1. The stop is 20. The tiers are 15 and 25. I'm by fluke, I just have the old version of the software installed, the previous version. So I'm going to make sure my account warnings are off. Activation prep is 5 seconds. The time of the event is 10 o'clock. It's a 10 o'clock event. Okay. I'm labeling it GC trap, and it's in Buell-Knox. My gold trap is in Buell-Knox. The stop is 20, 15 and 25 on the tiers. Time of the event is 10, 5-second prep. If you're on the new software, the time of the event is 9:59:55. 9:59:55. And I'm being straight with everybody. We've had one YM winner. The testing is okay. I'm not dying to give back $200 on the weekend. I'm tempted to trade micros, but we haven't tested them. It's hard to decide what's the setup. 20 bracket, 15 bracket, it makes it a little bit tricky. So I'm going to let it go. The other worry, very honestly, folks, is the bullishness of the YM. It's tremendously bullish. It's up 500 points. So I'm going to do what I think is the right thing to do. We're also almost at the high. I'm just trading the gold trap trade because that's our major trade on this event, and I'm just simming the YM. I think there's a lot of extra risk in the YM today, but I'm willing to do the trap in cash or prop. So I'm going to do the trap in my Buell Knox because I think it's got a good chance to win. But the YM definitely has me concerned because we're at the high. It's up 500 points and it's not tested as strongly as I'd like it to be. So I don't want people to lose their profits. And that's my thinking. That's why I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to sim the YM this morning. And look, if this was my family's account, this is exactly what I would do in my family's account. It's the price action, the YM making new highs on a report that's not a monster mover, right? I think the YM, I would also probably increase the bracket. I think the YM is too risky right here, and that's why I'm simming it. It's just that simple. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. Trade it. You're free to make your own decision. But I love the trap trade on this report, and I'm trading it in my Buell Knox account. Okay, everybody clear? Everybody clear on what I'm doing and why? This is an interesting report, isn't it? It's really interesting for us to get quiet in the room. So, Sander, I'm not trading, well, I'm trading Buell Knox. So, my trap trade is what I trust for cash. Okay. I do like the trap on this better than the YM. Now, look, the YM's pulling back now. I think it's extremely volatile, the YM. And I think it's not a monster report that it might struggle to create a good move in the YM because of the price action. I also think the bracket is tight because there's some volatility. That's what I think the YM could be difficult today. I like traps because, you get a pop, it changes direction. I don't think gold is going to burst 40, 50 ticks and blow through our trap. It could. All right. I was saying, getting ready to say, it's an interesting report because it has consumer confidence kind of news, consumer sentiment, and inflation expectations. And it's actually the real University of Michigan that generates this report. Now, remember, I didn't use a break even. I did break even minus 10. Okay, there's the trap. It filled before the news came out, which is not always a disaster with a trap trade. Okay. It's not a disaster. It's very choppy, canceling the outer tier. I think gold could test the high, moving my stop to safety, and I'll let it play. All right. I'm in safety. I can't lose money on this trade on the trap. On the trap. I did not really see what the YM did. I'm expanding my target and trailing to the bottom of the candle. A little bit close, a little bit too close, but it's gonna. Oh, come on, baby. Very choppy kind of behavior on gold. Expanding the target, expanding the target. Something's going on with the YM there. All right, so I'm out on my whatchamacallit, my trap. I'm out. Made a nice profit. Let's look. I need to look at the video to see what happened on the YM. What happened to everybody on the YM on that trade? What happened? Ravi, you got $60. Did anybody else trade it? Anybody else trade it? It looked like in sim it was not a great fill, even in sim. But it looks to me like we got filled in the wrong direction, right? We got filled in the wrong direction. Ooh, Raz. So I'm totally surprised that you traded it. I mean, I didn't trade it. I felt it was too risky. So I'm sorry you traded that. I'm really sorry you traded that. The market was just too risky. Too risky. I think I think when we look at the video, it'll just be chop. But the after the news move was so much better, so much better. And then the trap. We'll look at the video on. Let's look at the video. The YM breakout should be canceled. But this was my worry about the report that no matter what, the YM wants to go up because it's so darn bullish. Get out of here, please. Get. Let me look at the news. I can't take dogs much longer, folks. Can't bear it. I love those shock calendars. Shock 'em, baby. Let's let me get the news if I can find the news. Sometimes this website drives me insane. Okay. So it was mostly inflation expectations were up, but not a lot. Consumer expectations were good, better than expected. And then current conditions, but that's very minor, was negative. I suppose you could say a tiny bit of mixed news, a little bit of mixed news on that. And a tremendously bullish YM. Tremendously bullish YM. And I mean, I just felt it wasn't a good price action to trade it. Let's look at the video and see what happened. Give me 1 second to just save it. And Roz, I'm not trying to make you feel bad under any circumstances at all, but you just want to avoid ultra risk. You want to avoid ultra risk. Um, Revise UoM Michigan. I'm almost there with the video. All right. I didn't even look at the YM. I was watching the trap. And that's why it can be very difficult to trade two setups at once. It's hard to trade two setups at once. Sorry. All right, so here's now the YM. Like I said, I decided not to trade it live. I just felt so my reasons were a minute before the trade or 3 minutes before the trade, it was pushing new highs, 5 minutes. I was surprised it pulled back as much as it did before the trade, but it was just too, the YM seemed unsafe. Now, the move wasn't terrible, but it didn't follow through enough, right, to get anything but the first target at best. At best. The first target was 20 ticks. Did anyone trade it? Sandra, you did it in Sim. You did it in Sim. You didn't real lose real money. So, Roz, I'm assuming it didn't even hit your first target. Is that what happened? It did not hit. It didn't hit your first target. But you must have moved your stop like crazy because our stop was 20. So so your loss should have been like $250. You follow me? So you got to make a video. You got to record your trades so you could learn from this. It's so important to learn from what you did with your stop, right? Because if you just left it alone, it would have reduced it would have reduced your loss. It just sounds like you had a trade go crazy because you got emotional. That's what it sounds like. You traded emotionally. So it looks like it hit my first target and then reversed. But that's sim. So in real life cash, it might have hit the first target, it might not. Might not have. But in sim and in prop, there was a good chance it would have worked if you traded it for the first target. And then because we did the break even minus 10, it protected 10 ticks, $50. I was up 40, so you figure there were 2 ticks of slippage on the fill. Now the trap, I was willing to trade it in Buellnox. That's almost cash for me. It's not quite psychologically cash. But I've explained it's important. That Buellnox account, we want to build it up. We want to get to the point where we're taking money out of it. So what happened? Let's watch the trap. What happened on the trap? I'm sorry that I can't get the video closer in time, but I want to show you the fill. I'm wondering what happened on your reversal. Did it just get timed wrong? Because it looked like there was a good reversal there. Were you just in a state of panic, being honest? When you're in a state of panic, you make crazy decisions. So I got filled before the news came out, 4 seconds. I don't panic if that happens on a trap trade, especially because it was so choppy. I just didn't think it was going to burst either direction. So I felt I had an opportunity to get a profit, but I got filled 4 seconds early. But the rule of thumb, and that's pretty rare, but it does happen. The rule of thumb is if you get filled early on a trap, don't panic because it's a trap trade. The odds are good. It's going to do some reversing. That's why we're doing a trap. And that's what it did. So I moved my stop. I canceled the outer tier. Okay. It only filled one tier right there. All right. It filled one tier. It's already reversing. So I can cancel that outer tier, right? So you have space to move your stop to safety. Now, all you have to do is watch relaxed because you're in profit and you can't lose because your stop is in a positive place. Make your targets bigger and trail. That's the way to do it. Yes, Roz, that was, yeah. You- I mean, I understand moving the stop out of the way, but not so far, right? Within reason. Within reason. You don't want to kill yourself on one trade. All right. We got to make it next week. Got to make it back. So, and then the trap just took me out there. But another very decent trap trade. Another very decent trap. Absolutely got some decent profit out of that. And didn't have to get out. Absolutely. The big lesson on the traps is don't get out so fast on trap trades. Try to keep your stop far away and trail because we left a lot of money on the table on all the trap trades today. They were all profitable, all of them. Okay? Thank you, everybody on YouTube. And I'm going to close the stream. Thanks for watching.